So let's just start. You have some new books
I do.
coming out.
Yeah.
We'll talk about those a little bit.
Okay. The fourth book in my series, Stack a Deck, is just Ian's journey on from where we left off in the third book, which we talked about last fall. He's stranded or ended up on a different planet, different Earth's kind of alternate universe, I guess. And it's a very dystopian kind of universe, so it took a lot of research for this book when I wrote it. What would happen if the Earth's atmosphere didn't, reject all those nice little meteorites and meteors that tend to, ravage the planet. And then he just it's very much a personal journey for him because he's trying to figure out where he fits in the bigger piece of trying to save Earth, and he gets a whole lot of motivation when he sees what the bad guys have done to the other alternate universe. So it's an interesting, very hardship kind of story and book compared to the other ones thus far.
And so what was it like doing all that research for the book?
Daunting. What I've discovered with a lot of the research for that kind of thing is you change or want a certain kind of atmosphere, but when you create that atmosphere, it becomes this domino effect about where that has to go to stay true to science and also for what you need in the story. So I discovered that if the magnetic field is weakening because the core is weakening of the planet, wow, what happens on a bigger scale across the entire planet. So that really took a lot of time and energy, and every time I introduced something I had to kind of backtrack and deconstruct, okay, now could this actually be? It was really helpful though, because a couple years ago I was on a panel at Denver Comic-Con the first year I appeared with some NASA scientists, and that was neat because at the time I already knew where I wanted the fourth book to go, and I was able to double check some of my theories and all with them, and it was really fantastic and a relief at the same time to find out that much of it could true.
So this has been planned for years now.
Yeah, it has. I think when I first finished the book one, Fade to Black, and just this huge, just epic story kind of blossomed at that point, I plotted out, I knew what had to happen in each book. I didn't quite get there for the research or the writing yet, but I knew what needed to be, and so it was easier to kind of do some of that research along the way and not, leave it until the last minute, which I'm a great procrastinator about anyway.
So do you have plans to continue the series after this?
One more. There's one more. There was always going to be, I had plotted out 5 books. Okay. And so the fourth book, having just came out, it's great, but there's one it just kind of pulls everything, the whole story together, and the fate of everyone and the balance. And so it's going to be a real exciting, kind of bittersweet, I think, story to write, because I've been hanging out with these characters for years now, and it's going to be hard to kind of say goodbye to them too.
So when the 5th book is done and the series is all written, any plans for maybe a movie or a television show in the future?
Well, that would always be nice, but that's not my choice. It's kind of the powers that be out there. But yeah, I had like 2 or 3 different storylines that I've been mulling over for the last couple of years, but there's one that really hit, I think, harder than the others, and it's about a 16-year-old girl who is, in many respects, a shapeshifter. She discovers this by accident on the night of her 16th birthday, and the problem is she doesn't know how to get back to be herself. And so it's going to be another kind of journey, kind of life's journey of what it means to be an elderly person, a young child, all kinds of things for her, trying to at the same time figure out how she got to be this way, why suddenly in her life, and to kind of reevaluate and examine all that she had that she thought was so awful, and maybe that's really what she wants after all. So.
I love that story. It sounds awesome. I feel like it's Netflix ready.
Let's hope so.
And you have another book that just came out as well.
Yes. I belong to Wicked Ink Books, and we're a group of Colorado authors, and our first one had just come out last year when you and I had interviewed last time. And excuse me, and TikTok. It was called TikTok, 7 Tales of Time. And our latest one is out next month, and it's Offbeat, 9 Spins on Song. And we all took a favorite song and the lyrics or the title, whatever, and wrote a short story that was inspired by that. And we're really excited about it. It's got some fantastic stories in there, and we opened it up to submissions this time, and we had almost 46, 48 from across the world, different stories, and we chose 2 that were outstanding to be a part of it. So we're really excited about that.
Which song did you choose to write yours up?
Well, when we made a decision about what the topic was going to be, Prince had just died. And one of my favorite songs for years had been Manic Monday by the Bangles. And so not so much by the lyrics, but I took, very much the title and Sunday is my fun day kind of a thing, and decided what if mania really could be by the clock, and what was the ultimate mania, and so I decided a serial killer. Why not? And so, the serial killer strikes every stroke of midnight on a Sunday, and how she's from the future. She's sent to present day Earth because they just didn't know what to do with violence. They had eradicated it, through genealogy, and she was this abomination from them. So they sent her back to study how the 21st century dealt with, violent crime, and she's trying to survive and stay one step ahead of the people who are just finding an excuse to finish her off entirely.
That's so cool. Like, your imagination's amazing. You got from Manic Monday to this incredible story.
I do have this darker side that I like to explore.
So anything else on the horizon possibly after these 2 come out, or since they're already out?
Oh yeah, we met, we had our board meeting not too long ago, and our next one, I can't talk too much about it, but we're hoping to put one out every year around this time, about spring break time or April, and we're very excited about the next one. That one's going to be darker than ever, and we're thinking we might try to put it out, since it is going to be so dark, at October. So not so much this time for the next one, but in time for Halloween and some fun fest stuff. So,
Thank you so much for coming back on. This was wonderful.
Yeah, this was great.